Hello everybody, Iain, Robson here. Welcome back to an episode of County Line. So today is the first day of summer. It's 25 degrees. Looks like we have a chance of rain later on this afternoon. I'll probably need to take care of my cows, but I probably won't do this episode. I'll do it off camera. But if I come over here, you'll notice that our, I guess it was oat or barley, and our canola I think is ready. So barley and our canola is now ready. So I got the harvester over here. Gonna take it over and start harvesting some of our, I guess, winter barley, I guess it would be, if I had to guess. So it's early summer, so that means that I could theoretically plant something else after this. Potentially soybeans or corn, for example. So this is going to be kind of an interesting experiment to see how this works out together, see what it's like to plant this late. So the ground temperature is 17 degrees, so it's a wee bit higher than I really need it to be to plant either of those things, but it should be interesting to see how it all plays out, to say the least, at least. Alright, here we are. Coming up to our barley field, which actually looks like oats from a distance. If you get up close to it. Let's see. From a distance it looks like oats, but obviously it's barley here. As you see, I got the G.Skill there with our new overloader we picked up not too long ago. And I got the truck sitting there ready to go already. There we go. Let's just get the header hooked up here. And let's start this party, so to speak. There we go. And let's see here. I guess we can combine. If we get the Steiger, let's see how this is going to work. We want them on overloader mode. Let's see how that goes. And let's just start right over here. Might as well. I don't think we have straw being dropped at the moment. No. Good. I don't think we need straw still. What I'll do is I'll do the initial headland without straw, just so it keeps it all contained. And then after that we can drop straw if we need to. Although we'll probably have, I'm gonna check first, because I honestly don't think we need straw at all. If I had to guess. Let's see, how is that gonna work out? Looks like it might be okay. I may have to re-record that course now with this new overloader, because it's not designed for this particular overloader that we have now. And yeah, we'll see how this works out. So of course with courseplay, it doesn't destroy the crops when you have the crop disruption on. That was an update not too long ago. What version of courseplay do I even have now? Version 1.8.5. So I don't know what version I had before, but that's the version I have right now at least. So there's a truck with the double trailers doing its thing. And as you can see, courseplay has decided to avoid driving into that truck for now. Although now that it's gone right into the truck, it may decide to work its way out. We'll see. We'll see what happens here. I was trying to make sure I get all the barley here. Alright, so what we'll do as well is let's set up the pipe position, because if we don't, it's going to be all sorts of ridiculousness. Alright, so the waiting point is right over here. So let's lower it to about maybe here. That should be fine. Let's see how that works out. And then return this to its nearest point here. And we'll continue along here. And we'll see how that point works out for that tractor, or for that overloader. Because that pipe does move in comparison to the other ones, it will need to adjust itself. You'll need to adjust it for it, I guess, really. So there we go. Unloading into the overloader there. Now what will happen is that overloader will, the pipe will fold in Normally it would fold in when it is done its little course, but because I kind of set the pipe up and then went off and did my own thing, then the pipe just didn't unfold. So if I were to send it home now, what will happen is the pipe will probably get to the last point and then go through its cycle, and we'll see how it works together for the time being, at least. As you can see, apparently I am well, that's as high as the reel will go, apparently. Looks like I could go a bit higher. Oh no, that's okay. Alright, there's the case stagger doing its thing, so we'll see how that works out together. I'm going to check our straw stores, but I don't think we need some. Like I said. Alright. Steiger's about to turn around. We're just going to go check on it real quick. Because there's the first waypoint, so now it's folding the pipe. What will happen is it'll get to the point where it needs to unload, and then fold the pipe out again. But that's okay. Alright, let's see how this plays together. It might be fine, actually. Again, like I said, it's going to unfold the pipe once again. And it'll adjust the pipe to where I had it set. And then it'll go to the weight point, and then it should... So yeah, it's a little off. It's a little off now. If it went just a little bit more forward, it would be fine, but... Or if the truck were a little bit further back. Let's see here. So that's the first waypoint here. So let's just move this truck back just a little tiny bit. Right here. There we go. And there we go. And what we'll do is we'll send this truck on his way. We'll see how that all plays together now. Because that's the real key. When it all works together perfectly fine, that's great. But when it doesn't work well together, that's when you're like, ugh, what's going on here? At least that's how I feel about it. Nice to have a big combine, be able to take out this field a little bit quicker. Remember last time we had one of the smaller combines, it just felt like it took forever to do. But it's nice to have this upgrade now. And I asked people about getting another quad track, and some people said yes, go for a quad track, and some people said go for a 9R. So I'm not sure what's the better choice here, but we have an option for both of them, I suppose. If I had to guess, we'd have one option or the other. Both could theoretically do the job, but I have run into a situation at right now, actually, where I don't have. I would like to have a second big tractor so I could, plant, for example, or I could do some more of the culti-plow, because the field we picked up last time, the field number 7 there, it still needs to be plowed, and we have not got around to that yet. So it will be nice to have that capability at to be able to do two things at once, I guess, with two separate tractors. Now we could afford it relatively easily. It's just a question of selling some goods, basically. And also the grass is ready to be cut as well. First cut, at least. But we'll harvest this barley first, because we want to plant some soybeans in after this, I think, and make some more money that way. Actually, no, we'll plant corn for the cows. Although we only had one field in corn, and it was perfectly fine, so. The stagger's slowly making its way, apparently. I don't know where it is, but it's taking its time. Oh, it's way over there, crossing the middle of the field. Of course, that's not a perfect scenario, but at some point maybe it'll work out. Also, randomly, if you look at field 18 there, that's not a graphical error. There actually are like strips of like areas where it's fully mature, and other areas where other areas where it looks mature, and other areas where it's not mature. So I don't know what happened there, but something did. It must have been my planting, I suppose. I don't know what it was specifically, but you gonna catch up to me there, Steiger? Now the reason why I put the Steiger on the auger wagon wasn't because I needed the horsepower. It's more because of the weight, I guess. And some people have mentioned this before, because when you have a grain bin that big moving through the field, it's important to have a bigger tractor in terms of the traction and the weight associated with that. So that's the reason why I have that Steiger hooked up to that for the time being. It looks like the appropriate size, at least, too. So if you agree with me, leave a comment below, and if you don't agree with me, leave a comment below as well, saying why you don't agree with me. In reality, you could use it. I could have used the Massey Ferguson that we have, the big Massey Ferguson now too, but I guess I just like the Steiger. I don't know what it is. Alright, so I finished up my headland, and now I'm just going straight down the field here. Apparently I have turned the GPS off. There we go. Heading straight down the middle of the field. I'm going to break this field into two separate sections here, and then we'll get this field done. Hopefully that's not too bad, and I'll be able to get that eventually, but we'll see what happens here. So I had to recreate the overloader course as I suspected, due to the situation with the new overloader / tractor that we're using there. So that's the reason why I had troubles with that. So just thought I'd double check that, and I recreated it, and it seems to be working fine now. So we'll go ahead and use that course here. And like I said, I'm gonna break this course, or break this field into two sections here, and then I'll be able to have be able to take the combine down through the middle here without a problem here. At least that's the idea. That's the idea. So I don't know how Courseplay is going to work it, but I'm going to see how this works. So because I have a break down the middle of the field, Courseplay may decide to come all the way up the middle of the field, which is going to be interesting actually. So, all right, let's lift the header up here. Drive forward a little bit more. Make sure we get all that. Good. Make a turn here. There we go. Lower the header back down. And let's see how this plays out. Because I know Courseplay is going to come this way soon, if it hasn't already started heading this way. Yeah, it has. And it looks like, I'm not sure. Oh, let's see, it's coming in down the middle of the field. So, kind of one of the neat aspects of Courseplay. They have added some avoidance capability. So because I cut this strip right down the middle of the field, it's trying to avoid driving all over the crop. Now, it doesn't do this all the time. It just depends on where you are. And in this particular circumstance, let's go set this up so I stop at 100. There we go. It's not going to do this in every circumstance, but it will sometimes. Oh, that's pretty good. Surprised it avoided me. It's going to make a turn. I'm going to hit 99%. I'm just going to hold off here for a second. Otherwise, I'm just going to stop anyways. There we go. Not too bad. So, because I like doing the combining, that's why I like having Courseplay doing the unloading. I don't mind doing either, really, but I'm going to hit 100%. It's going to stop. Now, this is just because it didn't have a chance to line up. That's what happens sometimes. You'll see how Courseplay is like, oh, just line up over here. Well, that's what happens when you have this situation. So, if I drive forward here a little bit, yeah, it's just having a hard time. So what I'll do is I'll put the pipe back in here for a second, and then I'm gonna have to drive over the crop once again here, unfortunately, to get this lined up properly. There we go. These things happen. I'm not that worried about it, honestly. We have lots of money. But you can see how Courseplay does things. So because I hit 100%, if I weren't close to 100%, it wouldn't have been a problem because I could have just kept driving straight and then Courseplay would have lined up. But anyways, we'll wait for this to figure itself out. There we go. Seems like Courseplay's decided to figure itself out now. Admittedly, I had to do a little figuring for it, but it's doing alright now. I didn't realize how fast this combine actually unloaded. It's pretty fast. Faster than I remember it being, at least. Looks like he's awfully close. He may have to adjust that offset a little bit. And it helps when you're using, sticking with the GPS. There we go. I was like, why am I going off so much? Because, Ian, you're not using the GPS properly. That's what happens. So like I said, it's kind of interesting how it can work like this. How Courseplay can figure that out. When you have the, you can go like break the field down the middle, and then Courseplay will go up and down the middle to unload and stuff like that, or to unload the combine. I think it's kind of a neat capability that they added. I don't know when they added, actually. Not too long ago, I don't think. Alright, heading in the other direction here. Looks like Courseplay is doing its thing. It's getting awfully close to the header, but I think the tires are non-collidable. That's why Courseplay doesn't recognize that there's a collidable thing there. It's not the end of the world, though, I suppose. But it definitely looks funny when the tires go right through your header and you're like, oh, what's going on over there? Oh, looks like Coursplay's not doing something correctly, but it's actually just the way the mod's made. Because I believe those, like I said, I believe the tires are non-collidable anyways. That's why Courseplay doesn't recognize any kind of collisions there at all. Because there isn't any. Huh. Not bad, not bad. I'm gonna get this field done probably in no time by the looks of it, now that I have everything set up the way I want it to be. And like I said, we'll probably put either beans or corn in this field. I don't know which one's which one is better in this context, but we'll probably put a few of those, one or the other, because those are the big money makers. Although canola does a pretty good job too. I don't know how long it would take canola to mature versus soybeans or corn, but it could be kind of interesting to see which one's which, or which one works better in that kind of context. Bad. 20%? Yeah, that's such a bizarre thing that happened in that field. I don't know what happened there, but I just noticed it when I drove past here. I'm like, what on earth went on over there? I don't know, maybe it's just the way it was planted or something, or I planted it in 2 different days. I don't know. It could have been either of those things. But I just think it's quite hilarious. You can actually see it, I believe, if you look in... where is it here? Can you see it? Oh no, you can't see it. I thought you could see it in there. But oh well. It's just kind of funny because you're looking at it like, what's going on over there? I'm like, is that like a runway or something? Or like something like that? No, I don't know. It's just the way it grew. Had strips all the way down that field, so I don't know what happened there, but that's what happened. Anyhow, so like I said before about the quad track or the quad track or the 9R, and it was kind of a toss-up between the two. Because we already have a case, I probably end up going with a John Deere, just to break it up a little bit, because we have a big Steiger. I do like the Steiger, and I did find an interesting 9R actually. Donald hooked me up with the 9R. That's pretty slick. I think it's actually originally from American Eagle Modding, but it's not where I found it in the end. I think it was from, well, it may have been released in the place. I got it from ModHub as well, but it may have been released there as well. For all I know, at least. And also, I think this barley, this texture, wreaks havoc on FPS a little bit, just based on what I'm seeing, at least. The Steiger is slipping. I don't know. I think it's just the turnings it's starting to make. It's like, oh, I'm slipping. I'm like, no, I don't think you are. All right, make this turn. I'm just gonna keep driving with the header down. It doesn't matter now. There we go. Make this turn. There we go. Then Courseplay will figure out what's going on here in a second and realize that it needs to turn around. But as we get closer, it'll probably be like, oh no, I need to turn around. But it's pretty good. That's a nice size, it's a good size overloader or chaser bin. I think it's like, what, 43,000 liters? So it does a pretty good job of keeping up with this combine, and then having the double trailers over there. That combination seems to work really well together, so. All I can see are my tires in that rear view mirror over there. You can't really see what the Steiger is doing. Oh, there it goes. It's making the turn. Now, theoretically, I could put the tracks on that Steiger as well, if I wanted to. What is it doing? It's doing a big circle, apparently. Is it going to do a second circle? If it's going to do a second circle, then there's something wrong. Yeah. It's stuck on something. Either that, or just like, oh, I don't know where the position's supposed to be. And now if I set it up again, that's probably going to drive perfectly fine. Yeah. Strange things. Let's see, I'm at 91%. Let's see if it'll catch up in time. It should do. 94. Maybe it won't. Maybe I'm driving just a little bit too fast here. Wait for it to catch up first and then start driving again. There we go. See? Sometimes it's about micromanagement of yourself versus the courseplay. And in the end, it's better to have a person to do it, but sometimes it's nice to have the precision of a robot, so to speak. Anyhow. Yeah, we're not doing too badly on this field. It's not taking too long at all. Making good progress. So far, I think, I don't know how much barley we've gotten. Not a lot. Well, maybe we have gotten a lot and I just don't notice it yet. Our truck is only 30% full, so maybe in the near future it'll be much more full. I don't know. We'll see. Not bad at all. Anyways, folks, what I'm going to do is going to end the episode there for now. I'll finish harvesting this off camera because I do need to get to work soon. I just realized the time. My name is Iain Robson. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, why don't you go ahead and hit that subscribe button for some more county line action. And maybe next episode we'll get a new tractor. I'll catch you guys later.